You are deleting your child's memory. And you're probably doing it every single day, right while you're just trying to feed them. Seriously, if you're handing your 1-year-old a phone just to get them to eat one more bite, this explainer might literally be the most critical thing you hear all year. Welcome in, everyone. Today, we're breaking down a hidden phenomenon that is quietly rewiring an entire generation. And don't worry, we're doing this strictly through the lens of hard, peer-reviewed science.
Okay, I know that question sounds incredibly intense, but it's meant to be a wake-up call. You see, we've all kind of started using screens as these modern-day pacifiers, totally unaware that doing so could be actively damaging a developing brain. In this explainer, I'm going to reveal the two most dangerous ages for screen time. One of them, as you might guess, is when they're just 1 year old. But the second one, the second age, is absolutely going to shock you.
Now, look at this number, 502. That's not just a statistic. Those are real children. What we're talking about today isn't some random WhatsApp forward or a baseless internet rumor, right? This is built on the massive 10-year GUSTO study. GUSTO stands for Growing Up in Singapore Towards Healthy Outcomes. And these researchers, they didn't just hand parents a quick survey. No, they actively tracked 502 kids from the exact moment they were born, watching them grow over an entire decade.
And just to make sure you know exactly where we're getting this from, this is top-tier research from leading institutions. We're talking INSERM in France and the National University of Singapore. This was published in the peer-reviewed World Journal of Pediatrics in April 2026. We've even got the exact DOI number for you. So we are looking at rigorous, highly credible science that was carefully designed to understand exactly what glowing screens do to a developing mind.
So what did they find? Well, the most crucial point is right in this quote from the scientists themselves. The kids who watched more than 2 hours of screens at age 1 suffered the absolute most. When these exact same kids were tested years later, at age 9 for academics and 10.5 for working memory, the results were honestly pretty stark. For every extra hour of screen time they had at age 1, their academic scores dropped by 1.47 points later in life. The damage at this specific, tiny age was the most severe out of any time point they measured.
Now, watching how this builds across their timeline reveals something incredibly fascinating. The researchers checked in at very specific milestones: 1 year, 1.5, 2, 3, 6, and 8 years old. By the time these kids hit 8, their average screen time had skyrocketed to 3 hours a day. Now, basic logic might tell you, okay, if age 1 is bad, ages 2 and 3 must be even worse, right? Well, hold on, because this is where the data throws us a massive curveball. The damage wasn't just a straight predictable line going up. Instead, it formed this wild U-curve twist that totally stunned the researchers. The dangerous link between screen time and brain damage, it completely disappeared at ages 2 and 3, like it just vanished. But then, right at age 6, the damage came roaring back. So why 6? Because age 6 is the second highly sensitive window in a child's life. This is first grade. This is when the brain is incredibly vulnerable because it's learning to read, write, and focus in a strict classroom setting. It turns out it's not just about the total hours of screen time. It's about hitting the brain exactly when it's going through massive structural changes. To really wrap our heads around why this specific timing matters so much, we have to look at what scientists call displacement theory. This is absolutely vital to grasp. The phone itself isn't emitting some magical poison or harmful radiation that's melting the brain. Not at all. Instead, the screen is simply an attention thief. It is stealing precious, irreplaceable time away from the real-world activities that literally build a child's neural pathways. Specifically, that screen is displacing 3 foundational things. Number 1, sleep. Number 2, physical play. And number 3, which is honestly the most important one of all, talking with you. Think about it. At 1 year old, a baby's brain is rapidly wiring itself for language. When you hand them a phone just to keep them quiet, that talking stops dead in its tracks. The screen displaces the critical back-and-forth chatter that a baby so desperately needs to build a strong linguistic foundation. And backing this up is a massive 2020 review by researcher Sherry Madigan. She looked at 42 different studies involving nearly 19,000 kids, and her findings present this fascinating contrast. When a child is left alone for passive screen time, their language skills get weaker. Makes sense, right? But when parents are actively sitting there co-watching educational stuff and talking with the child about what they're seeing, language skills actually improved. Again, it's not the glowing rectangle itself, it's the human interaction that the glowing rectangle is replacing. Furthermore, we literally have physical, visual proof of this impact inside the brain itself. Scientists actually conducted EEG brain scans on 18-month-old babies. And guess what? The babies with high screen time showed significantly more low-frequency brainwaves,
Let me translate what that means for you. Their brains were literally sleepy. They lacked alertness, even though these babies were sitting straight up and wide awake. The screens had essentially forced their cognitive engagement into low-power mode. And if that wasn't enough, a 2023 French review of 15 different studies confirmed this widespread systemic impact. They proved that heavy screen time hits all 4 major pillars of childhood development. It degrades working memory, it lowers academic performance, it severely weakens language skills, and it totally disrupts attention spans. Literally every short-term study they looked at showed that higher screen time led directly to more attention problems. Now, I really want you to contrast the medical ideal against our everyday reality. The World Health Organization guidelines are super strict, absolutely 0 screen time before 18 to 24 months, and less than an hour for ages 2 to 5. But come on, what is our actual reality? We hand over a phone to an 8-month-old just to stop them crying on a long flight. We prop up a tablet for a 1-year-old just to get them to eat their dal chawal. We think we're making our lives easier, or maybe even making them smarter with these educational apps. But we are actually just making them completely dependent on constant digital stimulation. Okay, take a deep breath because here is the hope. This explainer isn't about fear-mongering or shaming anyone, it's all about empowerment. The researchers explicitly state that this early damage is not permanent. Your child's brain is highly plastic, meaning it can heal and adapt. And the scientists identified 2 very specific, proven ways that you can start reversing these effects right now, today. Those 2 proven changes are actually incredibly practical. First, you need to increase serve and return interactions. Basically, that means talking to your child, asking them a question, and actually pausing to let them answer or react. You are serving, they are returning, rather than just letting a phone passively tell them a story. Second is protective play. This means unstructured outdoor play where a child has to remember physical rules and adapt to their environment. This actively exercises and builds up that working memory. In the studies, kids whose parents did these 2 simple things performed way better, even if they still had some daily screen time. So let's turn this into a concrete 3-level action plan that you can start using in your home right away. Step 1, for ages 0 to 2, the no screen zone. No phones while feeding, ever. Distract them with a steel plate, a physical toy, or sing a song. Step 2, for ages 3 to 5, the co-watch rule. If they're going to have screen time, sit and watch with them. Ask them questions about what they're seeing to convert that passive staring into active, engaged learning. And step 3, for ages 6 and up, the school rule. Institute a strict no-screen buffer for 1 hour before and 1 hour after school. That's when their working memory is consolidating everything they've learned, and a screen will totally disrupt that delicate process. I want to end this explainer with an experiment and a bit of a challenge for our community here. Go down to the comments right now and tell me, what is your child's specific age and what is their average daily screen time? I am going to personally reply to the first 100 comments with a customized 1-line fix for your exact situation. Let's trigger some immediate action together. Just think about it. The smartphone in your pocket probably has a memory of 256 gigabytes. Shouldn't your child's developing brain have the capacity for infinitely more? Don't delete their potential. Leave a comment, make a change today, and I'll see you in the next explainer.